So that was the hardest part when you were
going around. No, it's fine.
I was like trying to talk and I was like, oh God.
Yeah, I think people think that like they can't talk while they're getting makeup done. And that's actually, well, it depends. It depends on the artist. Some artists like silence. They don't want to talk to you. They just want you to sit there, hold still, close your eyes. I, on the other hand, like to chat.
Not this artist.
Yeah, I like
this
to
makeup
chat.
artist.
So much so that we do a program where we literally just do makeup and chat. Hi, my name is Kathy Torres, and I am the Programming and Marketing Librarian here at the Sterling Municipal Library. And I also happen to really enjoy makeup. So today we're going to be launching a new program called Books and Looks, where I do makeup while we also talk about books. Our first guest is going to be Sabrina. I'll let her introduce herself to y'all while I start prepping her face.
Hi everybody, my name is Sabrina Martin and I am the Community Engagement Coordinator for the City of Baytown.
Why don't you tell us what book it is that you're going to be talking about with us today?
So the book that I read is called Where the Lost Wander, and it's by Amy Harmon. And this is it.
Very pretty cover.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Why don't you start by giving us just like an overview?
An overview?
An overview of the book.
So it took a turn that I wasn't expecting. It's basically about a family that is traveling west on the Oregon train. It's all about what they go through to finally make it. It's a little dark at times, but it's very real. It is a historical fiction.
Okay.
It does have some romance in it, so I guess I would say that it's for readers who are interested in historical fiction, a little bit of romance. Yeah, just looking for a way to escape. They are following a family of the Mays, and there's lots of kids. One daughter, her name's Naomi. She's 20, and she is recently widowed and headed off to the west with her family.
My.
And along the way, she meets a guy named John Lowry, who she unabashedly goes for. He's not having it. He's not that interested, and she is. And so you kind of see their journey. But even though it is a romance, it also just has so much darkness because the Oregon train was dark. I mean, like, it's not like it was all fun and games across America. So there is a lot of death. There's a lot of murder.
So is this what you usually read?
No.
So how did you end up reading? If this isn't what you usually read.
I know, it's not what I normally read.
How is it that you came across this choice?
So it was shelved on the wrong new bookshelf.
Oh
I thought it was inspirational fiction because I like to escape when I read. So I normally go for an inspirational read, and this one was shelved there on the new bookshelf. And
look, if that ever happens, we apologize.
Well, I stuck with it because I'm not a quitter. I can't not finish a book.
Would you read something like this again now that you've kind of dipped your toes into a little bit more aggressive waters than what you're used to reading?
So I would read something like this again, like maybe in 6 or 7 months, I'll try again. But what I really liked about this book is that even though it's it's historical fiction, it is really true to historical fiction. Like, it's not flowery and like, oh, they're going west, but they're having the time of their life. Like, they really talk about what it's like, how difficult it is. So for me, the big thing that I learned here is how the Oregon train kind of interacted with the Native Americans. You know, not all of them were, hell-bent on killing each other. Some of them actually worked together to go across to the Pacific Ocean. My favorite part of this whole book is that she does a terrific author's note at the very end, and I'm all about a good author's note. And she talks about how this is based off of her husband's 5 times great-grandfather, John Lowry, who kept a very vivid diary, and that's how she was able to come up with all of this information. So she took that diary, did a lot of her research of her own, and kind of formed this story together. So
wow. Cool. So this author, does she specifically write just history? Yeah.
Actually, no. So I'd never heard of her before. And I looked her up, and she writes like paranormal, fantasy. I mean, It was a variety of things. Her, John Lowry, his father was a white man and his mom was a Native American. So the book kind of follows his struggles as a quote unquote half-breed because that was really hard for them to kind of be accepted from either side.
Okay, so far I've gone ahead and put on some foundation. I've put on some concealer. I'm going to do something that might be different and new to you, and you're gonna look a little bit crazy. So I am putting a setting powder. So I'm gonna have you look up for this part because I'm gonna put this setting powder in all of the areas where I put the concealer. And the purpose of this is, and I put it in an excess amount just because it's gonna absorb whatever oils it is that you have on your skin so that your skin can stay nice and matte and set in these areas so that as you're going throughout your day, it's not slipping and sliding. So another book question, are there any other authors that you feel like are comparable on the writing end?
So the writing here was very matter of fact. It wasn't flowery. We didn't spend a lot of time in different, scenes, and I couldn't tell you like an author that was necessarily comparable because a lot of what I read is meant to be flowery. So I think, I don't know. I would recommend this if someone's looking to learn, a ton of details because it is such a serious matter. Like they don't shy away from things. They talk about, how women had to handle certain things going across. They talk about childbirth. They don't shy away from any of that. It's written in such a way that it almost feels a little bit textbookly, which I think is kind of what kept me going, besides the fact that I hate to not finish a book.
You keep saying, that it is a romance. So what exactly was even romantic about it?
So Naomi goes for John Lowry, flat out. I want to be with you. You need to be with me. And he's like, no. He was kind of in that I want to work on myself phase.
Okay.
I want to discover who I am. And
I mean, especially in such a hard time.
I'm
sure it's like the last thing that maybe he was thinking about was, let me just walk and also form a relationship with someone.
What's crazy though is that there is so much death along the wagon train that, like along the journey, that people remarried.
So there was people that were widowed.
Yes.
And then
including Naomi.
Right.
Who then goes on to go after.
Instantly.
Not instantly. Her husband had died. They'd gotten married very young, like 18, 19. And then he died, caught a fever, and then died like within a week.
Wow.
And then her family decided that it was time for something new, that there was nothing left for them where they were and that they needed to travel west. And so off she went, and she's bold and doesn't really care about propriety? However you say that word. It goes on for so long, like of just her throwing herself at him.
Wow.
And then them like slowly becoming like a thing.
By throwing herself at him physically, or just trying to get close to him in like the form of a friendship and letting him know that she likes him, or just on all aspects?
I think it's all aspects.
So how long were they on this? Was she on the journey?
A good 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
I think they start in like 1852-ish, somewhere around there. And then by the end of it, it's like 1853, 54.
Okay.
So.
Scale of 1 to 10. What would you rate it? What would you rate this read?
I would give it a 6. Because it wasn't awful. I don't really think that I would read it again. And not saying that like I want to go read something that's, fake or fiction. Like that's what I like to read. After that opening scene of a massacre, I like flipped the book over and I was like, what the heck am I reading?
Yeah.
And then I looked at the spine and realized that it wasn't an inspirational read, which is typically more escapism. There is a trial and challenges, but by the time you get to the end, like they've been resolved. That's what I like, and this one, while this one is resolved, it's not resolved in like a super happy way. I do like to get out of my comfort zone. A lot of what I read in 2020 was me stretching myself. And I think right now I wasn't expecting this to be like an out of, like if I'm going to read something out of my comfort zone, I know it's coming and I'm like, okay, like I can prepare myself. And because it was so rich in all of the knowledge, like in the history of it, I couldn't stop reading it. So I read it in like 2.5 hours.
The whole thing?
The whole thing. Although when I looked at it on Goodreads afterwards, a lot of people were like making jokes on the name because it's called Where the Lost Wander. They were like, my mind also wandered. And I was like, I didn't get that vibe.
So, Naomi, what do you think her look, what do you think her vibe would be? A modern Naomi.
I think her vibe would be, she was very bright. She wore like a bright yellow dress the very first time she's introduced.
Yeah.
So I think she'd be like bright colors. I don't think she really cared too much about like the way she looked, but she was also a painter.
Oh, wow.
And a sketch. Like she would do a lot of sketches. That was actually some of her interactions with the Native Americans, was her painting or drawing their likenesses and her trading things for that. So I think she would be into makeup only because she likes to create things. I think she's a creative.
She's a painter. I think she would love makeup.
And I think she would go for low maintenance clothes, but still very cute. Like she could like pull off anything.
Right.
And everyone else would just be jealous of like, Naomi can do anything and she doesn't have to try.
So based on what you just told me, who do you think would be her like favorite modern day artist?
She is really interested in capturing people's faces. That's what she's known for. I think she would be really good. It sounds weird, but like, you know when at weddings they have like speed painters who will paint.
I love to see those.
Yes, they'll paint like a certain picture from either the ceremony or at the beginning of the reception.
Yes.
And by the end of the reception,
it's beautiful.
It's just fantastic. And I think that that would be something she would really like to do.
It sounds like for her time, she was
ahead of her time.
Yes. So aside from Naomi, what is your usual makeup routine?
My normal routine, I do a quick foundation that can just kind of moisturize and just do all over coverage. And then I'll do a little bit of eyebrows because I need them. And then I like to do like a pink and purple kind of shimmer on my eyes. That is normally like my go-to eyeliner and mascara.
So what is on your list to read next?
Oh, good question. I have these phases where I just check out like 10 or 11 books and then I keep them next to the couch and then I'll randomly choose one. But I did just get a new book in yesterday and it's called The Music of Bees. And it's supposed to be about a beekeeper up in like Oregon, I think. I did get quite a few memoirs. I'm really interested in the Demi Moore one. And I normally don't follow like celebrities or anything, but I've seen a lot of her interviews when she was doing her book tour.
So since you check out so many books at once from the library, do you have any summer reading goals?
Oh, summer reading. So I don't have anything necessarily like that I'm trying to stick to, but I am kind of interested in doing like a 1 book a week type thing. Last year I gave myself the goal of reading 100 books in 2020.
Wow.
I accomplished it.
You read 100 books?
I read a little over 100 books last year.
Wow.
I am nowhere near that this year. It's been a little bit harder to
have time to sit and read.
Yeah. But I'm hoping a book a week.
Well, a book a week, that's still a very big goal, especially since I feel like sometimes people might get a little bit intimidated by our summer reading challenge, but I believe our summer reading challenge for adults and for kids is 8 books. So it does give people some time to be able to, first of all, figure out what it is that they want to read, and then second of all, get through the books. So that's going to be exciting. Fun prizes coming up for that.
When does summer reading start?
Summer reading is going to start on June 1st, and it's going to go all the way through July 31st. So that'll give people 2 full months to be able to read and log their books, and you'll earn badges for reading, and those badges will give you the opportunity to win some prizes. So we've got some some good stuff.
So when you're done curling my eyelashes, I'm going to tell you about the time in 8th grade when I pulled out all of the eyelashes. Oh, I was only allowed to wear mascara through middle school. My mom let me curl my eyelashes because, as you can tell, I have very short blonde eyelashes. So I was curling them and I was leaned up against the mirror and my elbow slid down the mirror and the entire thing went down. And I looked and I had like a full set of lashes on the curling iron and none on my eye.
I personally hate my eyelashes because they go straight down, so I curl them every day. But also, the power of fake lashes is just... Ooh. She is Cat Iron. Okay, look this way. Okay, so you have some time to think while I'm doing some lip action here. If, let's say, Netflix were to pick up this book and decide that they wanted to turn it into a show or into a movie, who do you think would be the best actress to play Naomi? And who do you think would be the best actor to play her romantic partner?
Honestly, I'd love to see Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, I love her. I think she's a terrific actress. I don't think I've seen her in like a period film. I think she's bold enough to like give Naomi's character justice. For John Lowry, though, for her love interest, I'm thinking someone rugged. Oh, I know who it is.
Who?
Okay, have you seen Riverdale?
Yes, I have.
Okay, the dad. Hiram.
Hiram Lodge.
Yeah, there it is.
Hiram Lodge. What? Really?
Yeah.
But his wife Kelly wouldn't make the cut.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway all the way.
Yeah.
Okay, mix. Okay, so I think we are done. I think you're looking glam. Let's see what you think.
All right. Oh, wow.
How do the lashes feel?
You were not joking about the whole cat eye look. I like the golden too.
I think you're workday ready.
I am definitely more than workday ready, but I will take it.
And you can just pop your mask right back on and no one will ever know that this even happened.
Thank you, Kathy. It's been fun talking to you.
It's been fun. And thank you so much for talking to us about Where the Lost Wander by Amy Harmon. Available at our library if y'all want to check it out. We appreciate you guys for watching our first episode of Books and Looks, and stay tuned because there's going to be a lot more makeup looks coming your way and a lot of different book chats as well. Bye!